Months after a bride was married in New Orleans, she questions if she will ever get photos from her special day.
She paid hundreds of dollars for a photographer who she later found out has had other issues with clients from across the country. Andres Fuentes has this story.
It's been nearly 6 months since Rayanne Behe married the love of her life. She's only been able to look back on her special day through cell phone pictures, selfies, and whatever short videos her guest captured. Behe says her most cherished video from her wedding day is a 4-second clip of her dancing with her now deceased brother, Mohsen, who died weeks after she tied the knot.
I could care less about the money. I want the memories. That's all that really matters to me.
Now she says she's desperate and left fighting to get the last photos of Mohsen from her wedding. She spent hundreds of dollars for a photographer to shoot her special day, but has come up nearly empty.
We were very much alike. He always referred to me as his mini him, his twin. And so, after he passed and, not knowing that I might not ever get these pictures, it genuinely hurts me.
The company Behe paid to take her wedding photos was Positively Photo and Video out of Hammond. Behe says that positive online reviews, good sample photos, and a $200 discount enticed her to pick Positively Photo and its owner, Arif Harlan. But on the day of her wedding last November, Behe says it wasn't Harlan who showed up to shoot pictures.
The contract is between me and the photographer. I'm under the impression that Arif is the photographer who's going to be coming and taking our pictures. So on the day of the wedding, I'm getting ready, and this girl named Jacelyn shows up.
Jacelyn Bonilla is the person who actually took pictures at Behe's wedding.
We had hired her as a contract shooter to cover a wedding, and she attended and shot it. However, has not returned any of the photos that are due according to the contract she signed with us.
We spoke to Harlan, Positively Photo's owner, over the phone. He didn't want to do an in-person interview or share the contract that he says he signed with Bonilla. Bonilla's Instagram page says that she's a Houston fashion and brand photographer, and the Facebook page that links to her Instagram says that she's from Laplace. Harlan told us that he found Bonilla in a freelance photography Facebook group, and he hired her for Behe's wedding. From there, Harlan says Bonilla was supposed to send him all of those photos. He would then edit them and then send Behe the final product. But when Behe's brother tragically passed, that's when Behe says she pushed for her $800 wedding photos to be ready for her brother's funeral.
I texted him and I let him know. I said, hey, my brother passed away. I would, really like to see those photos of my brother. I even sent him a picture of what he looked like.
A few days later, Behe says that Harlan emailed her these 3 unedited photos that Bonilla sent him. Behe says that Harlan didn't say when she'd get the rest of her pictures.
I was supposed to have 5 hours of coverage, and I received 3 photos that were pretty much duplicate photos. I mean, this doesn't look like quality work for someone who would have gotten $1,000 worth for taking photos.
Jacelyn emailed those to you?
Yes, so I thought it was all going to be okay, but then for some reason she wasn't going to send the rest for I'm not sure. After that, it kind of just went downhill.
Harlan says Bonilla would sporadically respond to his text messages. He says he asked her to send $175 as a partial refund, then threatened to take her to court.
She gave excuses about getting it in or being traveling and stuff, and then all of a sudden just seemed like her phone line got disconnected and haven't been able to get in touch since.
Harlan told Behe his hands were tied.
And he said that he's been having, problems getting it from Jacelyn, and that I should reach out to her and see if I can get it from her.
Behe says she tried to track Bonilla down, and in the process, she found complaints on Bonilla's social media pages that she didn't produce pictures for other customers as well. Behe questions why Harlan hired Bonilla in the first place.
It all looked good to go, but then after her being hired, I guess is when some issues among other groups had started arising.
And even though her social media pages say that Bonilla is from Laplace and based in Houston, we found that she's a member of several photography groups across the country. In fact, just 5 days before shooting Behi's wedding in New Orleans, Bonilla was supposed to be in Hawaii. She had posted that she was holding 2 days of photo shoots in Honolulu for a $50 advance payment. One model who wants to remain anonymous says that she jumped at the opportunity for the $50 photo shoot after looking at Bonilla's pictures online.
And then her front is basically that, oh, I'm a Christian woman. I believe in helping other women, lifting other women up, things like that. So that kind of made me trust her.
The model says that she sent Bonilla the money on November 14th. But on November 19th, the day before her shoot, the model says that she got a cancellation message from Bonilla saying that she never took a flight to Hawaii.
In less than 14 hours before the shoot, I say, but she could definitely danger because she was flying from New York. And then she just said, I'm so sorry, I just got sick and I wasn't able to fly so Honolulu.
In Instagram messages between Bonilla and the model, Bonilla claims that there are issues with her bank that prevents any transactions. The model then turned to a photography Facebook page for advice, posting, "What do I do if the photographer cancels last minute and is semi-ghosting me since I asked for my money back?"
Posted about her anonymously, people started commenting like, oh, it's just like that girl from New York.
The model says people then started reaching out to her, sharing their own negative experiences with Bonilla, like Lauren Delgarian, owner of Humble and Spark, a New York jewelry store.
You win some, you lose some. It was just like I just knew I wasn't going to use her again.
Delgarian says Bonilla reached out to her business on July 5th for a photo shoot with some of her jewelry and sent over her rates. They both agreed to Bonilla's $500 silver package with some modifications, only one model and 10 pieces of Delgarian's jewelry. Delgarian says she sent the jewelry to Bonilla's Houston address, and soon after, she says Bonilla told her that she traveled to Miami for the photo shoot with the model she chose.
They weren't great. A lot of them weren't edited. They weren't my brand. I sent her like my brand package, which is basically like the color scheme that I work with. None of them matched my brand colors.
Delgarian says that she waited 2 months to get her photos from Bonilla, but trying to get her jewelry back was even more frustrating. Bonilla claimed for months there was a problem with the shipping.
And then I did get merchandise back, but I only got half of it. She didn't send all the pieces back. And maybe total, it would be a few $100s.
Delgarian says that she's given up trying to get her missing pieces back.
That's long gone. That's long gone. And if you jip everyone out of $200, $300, $400, that adds up.
Now, those who say Bonilla let them down want others to know.
And the fact that she was doing it so much to other people that it's just was such a disappointment.
Like at that point, I didn't want a wedding anymore.
And as for Behi, she says mourning the loss of her brother is that much more painful, knowing that she might never get her wedding photos from Bonilla.
It hurts. Like, if you took the pictures and you have them, why hold them hostage? Like, why can't you just hand them over to me? Like, unless you didn't really take them at all.
Reporting in New Orleans, Andres Fuentes, Fox 8, Local First.
Behi says she has yet to get her $800 refund from Positively Photo and Video, despite Harlan saying he would refund her in full. We did reach out to Bonilla several times for comment on this story and have not heard back.